Hello, Maddie here. Thank you for coming back for another week, another book in this lovely year of our Lord 2025. This week, we are talking about a wonderful book by Julie Buxbaum. We love Julie Buxbaum in this household. One of my all-time favorite books is called Tell Me Three Things by her. I've probably read and reread that book like at least a dozen times. It's so good. I love it so much, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for a book called What to Say Next. When I was selecting what books to talk about, I was like, oh, I think this is this book by her. It is not that book from her. The book I thought it was this book, Hope and Other Punchlines. And I was going to talk about this book because it is about basically kids of 9/11. It's obviously fiction, but it's about kids of 9/11. And I recently saw Come From Away with my sisters, and that is about, just quick synopsis because it's not important to this video because we're not talking about Hope and Other Punchlines, but Come From Away is a musical about the town of Gander, which is a town in Newfoundland, which used to have the largest airport in North America because it is like the furthest northeastern tip of the continent, and planes would stop there, gas up before they try to cross the ocean, get to, like Europe and other places. And it's about how a bunch of planes were forced to land there because it has such a large airport. And the town went from about 9,000 to 16,000 people overnight for approximately 5 days when all these people were grounded when the U.S. airspace was closed. And it's a really great musical. It has the people in the musical are based on actual people that this really happened to, and they have like this whole kind of like, I don't know if it's an actual like full documentary, but at least a mini documentary of the people from the original cast meeting the actual people that they're based off of, and it's really cool and really awesome. But because I just saw that, I wanted to talk about this book, but this book doesn't have its own blog, which it will one day, but at this point it doesn't. So we were talking about books that do still have blogs or that already have blogs, and that book is What to Say Next by Julie Buxbaum. That's what we're talking about. That book got 2 blogs because I picked it up, loved it so much, but couldn't finish it because of social, having to like actually see people and hang out with people. But because of that, I wasn't able to finish it before I had to post my first blog. So it is one of, or it might be the only book that it got a blog before it was even finished, and then got a part 2 once I finished that book because it was so stinking good. It is about 2 characters. I think it's David and Kit. David is a character who has Asperger's, although I think they explain it in the book too, because very semi-recently, in the last couple of years, they actually got rid of the term Asperger's and kind of just enveloped it into the autism spectrum disorder. But he has Asperger's, and Kit is dealing with the death of her father. And it is very much just about 2 kids growing up and learning to exist in the world with this baggage that they've just kind of been given. For David, he literally carries around a notebook to help him person, basically. It is full of like idiosyncrasies of like proper behavior and vocabulary and like things like that. It's full of all sorts of things to help him navigate because he doesn't know what to do or how to do it. And he's very much in his own head, and he's a very linear thinker. He has point A and point B, and there are no things in between. So he has a very hard time communicating with people. And Kit is trying to get back to a new normal with the death of her father. Her whole world the foundation's been broken, and so she's trying to rebuild. And she's just going around being like, I don't care what your genes look like. I don't care about these little things that we used to spend hours dissecting. I can't care about that right now. And I don't know how to rebuild from what I'm now left with. And so her and David kind of come alongside each other and help each other just human. And it's very cute and very funny and very enjoyable. I really, really love it. I mean, Kit's great, but I definitely understand David more. Not that I've ever been diagnosed with those things, so I can't be like, oh, I totally get that I don't get social situations, because I understand most social situations. But one of the things I really like and I get about David is his vocabulary is insane. And while I can't spell for my life, I do have a pretty decent vocabulary. But this book, dude, I had so many. I have a myriad of different kinds of Post-it notes, but I have the ones that are like actually little tabs. And so I wrote down, as I was reading through the book, I wrote down all the words that I didn't know, and I have them all listed of just all these words that I learned, because I was like, dude, his vocabulary is off the charts, but I also love that. And I think it's so cool. And I'm like, I need to know more. But secondary is the kind of math analytical part, because I love math. One of my like weird things that it hasn't happened in a while because I haven't had the time. But when I was in one of my earliest full-time jobs, I had loads of times on my hand, and I literally would spend hours doing calculus for fun because I could. It was awesome. I freaking love calculus. It makes me so happy. Like it just like brings peace to my soul, which doesn't make sense to most people, which is fine. But I loved reading about David, and I love just having even just a little bit being able to connect with him in that way and have this character that I'm like, okay, like I get that we can kind of be weird and not socially normal, but we can still exist in the world. We can still take up space in the world. We can still thrive in the world. That's what I'm looking for. We can have weird interests, weird hobbies, even weird ways of thinking, and we can still thrive in this world. And that's something David's learning, and he's learning his own limits, and then also learning how he can kind of push past his limits to still very much enjoy the world, even if he doesn't understand it all the time. And I use a text exchange in my blog that I have to talk about because it's hilarious, about just how Kit and David communicate and how they are very different, but how they are helping each other learn and grow. So this is what I say. Everything you need to know about Kit and David's relationship can be summarized in this text conversation. David, it was a big deal for me being Kit, because this switches points of view between David and Kit. Me, oh, I didn't mean, never mind. Let's talk in person. Texting isn't working. David, what service provider do you have? Me, why? David, if your texting plan isn't working, could be your provider. I'll look up on Yelp who has the best coverage in Mapleview. And it's like, it's not what I meant. Not at all what I meant. Let's talk in person. And it's funny and it's cute. And I like this book for that part of it. And while I know I've mentioned this in past videos, I definitely have a harder time identifying with high schoolers and some of their issues. And I'm like, I'm an adult. We are so far past high school, but like human is still human. And there are still lots of things that affect, no matter your age range, there are still social norms that we're like, why is that a thing? And what are we even doing? There are still things like grief at every single stage of life. And so this book just kind of encompasses all those things in just such a great way. And I absolutely love it. And I am totally here for it. I genuinely don't remember whether they get together or not, whether they're romantically interested in each other. I genuinely don't remember. Because while I am normally all about my couples getting together, this book was about more than that. And it was more about kind of translating yourself into the world. Does that make sense? It's about translating how you see the world into like the actual world, how you're perceiving situations and how you're interpreting what people are saying to you and how that actually works in reality in terms of how conversations go, how social interactions go, how you navigate through these things. And this book just does such a good job of all of those things and reminding you that it's okay to be weird. It's okay to be a linear thinker in a non-linear world and vice versa. That it's okay to sometimes have to take a step back and be like, what just happened? How did it go wrong? And like, what did I do? And like, or what did I not do? It's okay for all of those things. It's okay to learn and grow. And that's part of what it means just to be human, is that we are all unique and different. We all view the world differently. We all may be looking up at the same sky and we all are seeing it differently. And that's okay and good and fine. And this book just kind of helps with that. Make you feel a little bit normal about not feeling normal. So that's What to Say Next by Julie Buxbaum with David and Kit. And we love it. We're here for it. It's a good read. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you have thoughts on this book, if you have read this book, if you haven't read this book, if you have suggestions for me to read, if you have suggestions for me to talk about. You have read my blog and you have ones that you have a blog that you like that you've never seen the video for and you would like to, comment all of that below. I want to hear all of it. I sometimes take a minute to respond to comments, but I do respond to all comments. Mainly the people that don't get immediate responses are my family. I love them and I open them and then I forget to respond to them like I do with actual like texting and stuff. But I keep it open and I will eventually respond. If you're not family and you're someone I don't know, you will likely get a response pretty quick because I don't know you, and that's awesome and really, really exciting. That sounds really terrible to my family. I love you guys, and you've supported me from the beginning, and it's beyond appreciated. You have no idea how much it means to me every single time any one of you comments. I'm talking to my family at the moment. It means the world to me, genuinely, and if I've never said that to you, I hope you know that it does mean so much to me that not only did you watch my video, but you had actual thoughts on it and put those into words and took the time to comment to let me know that you watched my video and had thoughts on it. It really means a lot. And I love you guys. So like, comment, and subscribe. With all of that, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you have a great night, great week, great weekend, great month, great year. I hope you have all the greats because you're truly worthy and deserving of them. So until next time, adieu. Bye.